Hello, welcome again. February 27th. Can you believe the month is almost over? February was always short. Shout out to the February birthdays, including my son, who I love and adore, and everyone else out there. Rest in heaven, mother. And right now, we're going to take it to Rama Thursday Tech, already in progress. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in. All of you users on the web, come join in. You can go to fanbase.app/audio and you can listen to the live um, without having to jump into the room or install the app. So I think that's a great opportunity for those that are a little shy, I like me, right? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and show you Rama Thursday Tech Talk, now in progress.
So it's going to be kind of a strange. Um, Boom. Perfect. You guys can see it? Yep. You can give me some thumbs up. Awesome. I think I see it there. Perfect. All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about some of the adjustment we did. We believe that DM, we always say that we have 6 content formats, but DM is actually like a content vertical format because you can upload, share content, and a lot of things go down in the DM, right? And you can even make money there. So as we continue progressing in the sprints, we want to start improving the experience on DMs, right? So we started doing some small UX UI adjustments. We have several other ones coming up throughout the different sprints. Um, go through some of them. So what you're seeing here is basically what our product team puts together before they propose any type of adjustments, regardless if they're small, large. In this case, they're small yet impactful. So I want to show you that a lot of times, we try to make it very clear why we do this and what we do. We do, competitive analysis. A lot of times we're trying not to reinvent the wheel either. Sometimes when things work well, it works well. There's no um, um, explanation of why you want to change that, right? Um, so then we are, and I'll talk a little bit. I saw someone saying about the bots. I'll talk a little bit about the bots that as well. So as you can see here, we are doing a comparison so you can see between our old UI. So if you have a version 3.13 and below, you're seeing the old UI. If you don't have the latest version, please make sure you update it. But if you have the version 3.14, you're going to be able to see some of the changes. Small things that we've done: iconography. All right, changing the iconography, making sure that the sizes are correct for the experience for the user. We did some changes on individual chats and also group chats. Small things such as knowing in group chats exactly who's sending the message and what's being sent. That's something that is very important. Making sure that when you upload or you send the voice message, the spacing between those icons are correct, so the experience is better. So you're gonna see, and it will make a difference. It's one of those things that you're like, okay, well, it looks better. I understand why they've done it. I just don't see how that's gonna make it better. Just go in there and you'll see that it's gonna flow better. And again, we're trying to get to a point where it's natural to you. And like I said, I know that we still have other things to do, and we're gonna be doing this sprint by sprint. But DMs and chats, we actually, did a lot of UI improvements that I think you're gonna enjoy. So check them out. Make sure you provide feedback as well if you have any feedback. And as you can see, and as I always tell you, we always prototype absolutely everything before we develop. We want to make sure that we're aligned, we know what we're doing, and this is a perfect example. Do a small presentation, and then we go into the prototypes themselves. But again, I'm not going to go through each one of them. I'm going to let you enjoy them real time. Make sure you downloaded the latest version. All right. Um, so again, version 3.14 is out and about. We did some adjustments to finalize being able to pay you with the $5 threshold. We did some notifications improvement on the Apple side. We did some DM visual adjustments. We put Instagram migrations on web. So I'm going to show you right now. Here we are. We are on web right now. I'm logged in under my profile. We'll talk a little bit about all of this later. But if you go to your profile on web, you're going to see that migrate from Instagram and TikToks are available as well. Again, I always recommend everyone download the app for the full experience. Web is still a work in progress. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's some differences on what you can do in web and not in the app, but we still wanted to make this accessible because eventually we're going to be directing users directly through migrating through Instagram and TikTok. So then after they do that, they can go and enjoy Fanbase inside the app. All right. So with that said, let's see if you guys have any questions on the release, on anything that I said so far, and then we'll go from there. I have more things to share and to talk about, but I want to make sure I give you guys enough time to see if you have any questions in there. All right. Let's see. What's up, guys? I'm going. By the way, I'm looking. I have the. Look, what crazy is this? I have the app right here, so I'm looking at the chat. So while I talk, I can also look at the chat and see if I'm missing anything here. All right. Let's see what's going on. I see some are having a good week so far. That's awesome. All right. I love that some of the Fanbase are having events. Payout day is coming up on Saturday. I know there's going to be some rooms about that. If you are someone that is going to get paid for the first time, I want to hear about you. So let me know through the chat. All right. All right. Dan Marie, I saw your message. The lives in the Explore page haven't changed. I'll bring it up. I did bring it up to the team, but they've been so busy. But now that we're done with the release, we'll take a look at it. Okay. So I'm just gonna let me put it here. There we go. I'm not writing it down. No worries. No worries. I can no longer listen to Fanbase audio while using other apps without getting booted. When booted, can find room in hallway. So something I'm going to ask you guys. I know I always ask you this, but now more than ever will be important for you to shake your phone and share these things that happen to you. If you've done it, I'm assuming, Danny Marie, you've done that as well already. But I'll talk about the Roma, but we're going to be doing a very extensive bug fix marathon on the entire platform. Okay. So if you ever had something that bothered you, a bug or anything, this is the time to report it. We have improved the way we connect our tech support system and how we communicate from tech support into our current sprint and product team and planning team. So if you haven't done that, please make sure you report it, because obviously in my, where I stand from today, all I can say is we'll take a look at it, but we need technical data, and a lot of times shaking the phone gives us that technical data. Now I'll say that for watch party, you can't leave the app and continue listening to watch party. I know I've mentioned this before, but I want to separate a watch party audio room from a normal audio room. In a normal audio room, you should be able to still listen to the conversation and participate without having the app in foreground. You can have it in background and so on. So if that's not happening for you, it's definitely an issue, and please report it. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Is there any plans to have PC app for laptop users? Unfortunately, not yet. We still need to cover a lot of foundational and basic stuff inside the Fanbase platform, and we want to cover that before we venture into any other platforms. We would love to be accessible everywhere. A lot of times we got to be very smart. Not a lot of times, most of the time, if not all the time, we got to be very smart with our time and resources. And because while we're growing our resources, we want to make sure we focus on the most used devices. Okay. Again, I don't discard that in the future, but for now, our focus are on the native apps that we have. We are doing web work as well. Now, the cool thing is that technology such as Apple's technology, I know I'm not talking about Microsoft and Windows, but Apple, what they've done last year is they started consolidating their line of products. So when you develop an app for for an iPhone, that same app most of the time can work very well, if not perfectly, for MacBook Pros M1 and above. So if you have a MacBook Pro M1, you can use Fanbase. You can go to the App Store and download it. In fact, what you're seeing here, it's actually the Fanbase app on my MacBook Pro. Okay. Now, it has some differences. There's some things that don't work very well, but you can still do it. Okay. Let me go ahead and get. So yeah, but we'll again. I don't discard in the future. We'll do other devices as well. Okay. What's up, Fede? I see Fede there. All right. So Marshall, I hear you. We are um, we're starting to work on. We've seen we've seen a lot of an influx of bots, and that was expected. When you start showing up in the map and starting to be noticed, there's always going to be bad actors. That's normal. And what we try to do is we try to do layers of protections for bots, but they get smarter, and then we got to do another round of work to build those patterns. We're actually working on that. We built an LLM system that can allow us to identify those, and it's getting better and better. So I'm hoping within the next week or two, you're going to start noticing the difference there. But again, I think it's going to be an ever existing thing that we're going to have to continue working. And it always helps when you report it, because part of the variables that we're considering when marking if they're, fake accounts, bots, and so on is also a community report. Okay, so please don't stop doing that. All right, all right. Let's see what else we have here. I'm going through, and I'll look at YouTube messages. Questions shortly. All right. Joyce, just download the latest version, and you'll be able to see some of the DM. I talked to some of my friends here in Africa, and their concerns about the payment method. Is that difficult to create PayPal here? So we do have PayPal everywhere in the world, in the regions that were present, except obviously United States, Australia, and UK. Now, I do know that PayPal sometimes doesn't work in some countries, right? What I all everyone, okay, at this point, and let's take advantage the fan base, even though we've grown a lot, we're still in a place that we can do this. If you are a creator that has gotten to the minimum, which is $5, and you're in a region that doesn't support either PayPal or the what we support for US, UK, and Australia, please reach out to support@fanbase.app or check your phone and let us know. We'll find a way to pay you. We live and breathe to pay creators because we know that's the future. And the more we pay you, the better you do, the better we can let the world know that this is for real. Okay. So, Ahindi, while you are having these conversations, please relay this message to anyone that you might hear that, they actually could get paid, but because they don't have the payment method, they can't. Reach out to support. We'll figure out a way. Okay. But that will change in the future in our, what I call the payout financial roadmap. All right. And I hear you on the Stripe for Nigeria and Ghana as well. Okay. Let me see what else we go here. I'm going through the messages. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Loving the new look. Everything up is fresh. Glad to hear that. Will we eventually be able to share posts and lives to our stories? Yes. The answer is yes. We had a roadmap in Q1 before January. Super exciting. One of those items in the roadmap was to revamp the back end of stories that would allow us eventually to be able to share content through stories. So it's definitely part of the plan. And then January came, and then TikTok shut down for a day, and a million things happened that moved things around. All good things, great things. So what I'm saying with this is the sharing got moved a little bit just because we felt we need to take care of some things. And what we're doing is we're trying to cover the basics, the foundationals. So when something like that happens again, which we know will happen, it's a question of time. We're even better prepared than we were before. Okay, but the sharing through stories will come. I promise you. All right. All right. LJ, I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Prayers for you. Um, Let me see what's going on. Question: will we eventually be able to comment on someone's live when we're watching the replay? Good question. Yeah. So eventually, what we're doing, I sometimes ask these great questions to explain a little bit of the vision. Okay. When we're talking about foundational things, we're also talking about simplifying the platform, not only for the user, that's number one, but also for the way we develop and we maintain it. Fanbase, I always say it's a beautiful monster nonetheless. And as such, what we're trying to achieve now that the race is progressing and we're growing the team is, I always talk about architecture and automation, but simplifying the platform. And that comes from doing multiple efforts. One of those efforts is, how can we simplify things so a comment, regardless if it's a live, if it's a post, if it's a story, is part of the same element, right? So as you know, you have media posting that it has one format, you have Flix that has another format, but they all have the same elements if you think about it. You have a caption, you have the monetization tools like love, subscriptions, they have commentings, right? So what we're going to start doing as we talk about architecture and improvements, we're going to start consolidating all of these. So in the future, when you're watching a live replay, you will be able to do the same things that you might be able to do on Flix or media posting as well, because they're as equally valuable to you. Okay, so that's the direction that we're going. So the long-winded answer is yes, but I want you to also know that that's going to be across the platform as well, including the feeds as well. Okay. All right. You know what? Someone said first time you're getting paid almost at $5. I think you already made $5 in this room. Check it out. All right. Let's see. What else? What else? Will we eventually be able to bring other users on live with us? Yes. Yeah. We want to do that. We want to do that. Believe me, I'm trying to, or we are trying to scale things up as efficiently and as quicker as possible. But there's challenges on that too. But we're gonna get there. We need to first tackle a lot of foundational things, and then we're gonna go into the different verticals and start bringing all the things that I know you expect and gives you value as a creator as well. And one of those is multi-live for sure. I've been talking about it for a while. Rama, what can you say to encourage someone new who's struggling on creating their first room, going live, or posting content? I love that question. Thanks for asking that. I'm going to start through the basics. I know on Tuesday, Isaac mentioned 9 steps that can get you closer to being successful in Fanbase. So I'm going to cover some of those. Number one is start with the basics. Go to your profile. Make sure you have your profile completed. Don't be shy. If you come to Fanbase, you come to build community. So there's no way of staying private, even if it's a community of 3 with your own private community. So make sure you have a profile picture, a bio, how you identify yourself, what kind of creator are you, or if you're a creator or not. Again, we believe everyone's a creator in Fanbase, but completing your profile is the number one simplest thing to do. Okay, that's already by itself a good start. And very, very soon, that will have incidence as well on how much visibility potentially you could have. All right. Number two is you never know where you're going to reach that $5. It can happen any day. It can be someone that sees you online through your public profile on web. It can be a one piece of content that you created. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you complete your payment profile. You go to settings and you put your payment profile. All right. Just by covering those two, you're in a good place to start. The first thing I will always say is audio is a great first place to start. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to create an audio room, but you can actually participate, listen passively in an audio room, and at the same time, you can connect with users through the audio room. While we do believe at Fanbase that looking at content goes beyond following, okay? Following or connecting really matters because that allows you to create community, right? I also recommend you, besides going into audio, go into camps. So if you go to audio on the upper right hand side, you're going to see the camps icon. Go in there because you are going to be able to see alike creators or users in the platform that might have the same interests as you. And by doing that, you will be alerted when there's a conversation that you want to participate. So you can start, if you're a shy person that is a little bit afraid of trying new things, start passively connecting in audio as well. Something I forgot about profile that is super important as well too is migrate your content. That's a no-brainer. Nothing to lose. When you migrate your content, you're not taking it away from TikTok or Instagram. You're just copying it. So again, nothing to lose. If you go to your profile settings, you're gonna be able to migrate from TikTok or Instagram or both. Okay, and by doing that, you're bringing content already. So without effort, you're really bringing content in a monetized environment that gets you closer to start making money. Okay, so again, if you think about it, we have talked about a lot of efforts that really doesn't take much from you. It doesn't take you to have great cameras or great lighting or spend 3 hours creating content. You can do all of that in 10 minutes. Okay, so start there. Then if you want to start making a difference, that's when you start getting, you gotta be a little bit more bold in the sense like don't be afraid of creating content in Fanbase. It doesn't matter the content format. It can be media posting, which is images or videos up to 1 minute. It can be flicks, short form video. It can be Fanbase Plus if you want to upload 1 hour of video, or it can be creating an audio room. Now, get creative when it comes to create an audio room. You do have to get a little bit creative because it has to be a topic that you think could attract other ones. But again, there's no judgment here in Fanbase. If you want to create an audio room, we've seen some crazy audio rooms. Let me tell you. I remember when there used to be audio rooms for those that are OG, where they would create an audio room just to connect. There was silence in the audio room for 5, 6 hours. People would come, connect, and then they will go out their own way. So creativity in an audio room can go in any direction. So when you create an audio room, definitely make it descriptive, make it so people know what the audio room is about, and make it positive, inviting. While there are always going to be bad actors, a vibrant community is fed with positive content, positive topics, disagreement as well. We don't expect everyone to agree in Fanbase, and we want people to disagree, but definitely be welcoming when you create that content. All right, there's much more that you should be doing, but I think those basics will get you closer to getting good at Fanbase and start earning money as well. We have learn, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it here. So we have learn.fanbase.app as well as a place where you can go and find out more about Fanbase. So let me go ahead and put here. I'll show you in a little bit. So we have the learn.fanbase.app. We have things such as what is Fanbase and what can you do, how you make money, and so on. All right. So hope that helps. Great question, by the way. All right. Let's keep on going because we still have a lot to talk and more questions to answer. All right. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I'm going through all the messages. When dark mode's coming this year? I hope so. I'm definitely aiming at that. I want to. The quicker we can get through this foundational thing, the quicker we can get to the cool stuff and the fun stuff. Believe me, you know how many times I'm like, oh my God, I want to get there so fast. I want to do it today. But I can, we just cannot jump hoops anymore. So, but we'll get there. I promise you. All right. All right. How are you planning on integrating AI into the app? Love that question. Let me give some love to that. So we're already working on AI at different levels. We do have AI in the platform. It's built within the algorithm, but we believe AI goes beyond that, and creators can definitely uh, benefit from AI. So I'm going to be generic and I'm going to categorize where we're working on bringing AI in the future. Okay. And then as we get closer, I'll start releasing more information about it. Number one is AI, just like it's putting a lot of people out of business, AI can also facilitate the content creation. Now, when I talk about that, I don't mean like let AI create everything and you have all these fake and and even dangerous content going out there. I'm talking about as a creator, okay, and this ties a lot with what Fanbase stands for. All right. At Fanbase, we believe everyone is a creator. Okay. And I still remember my first conversations with Isaac, where he would say, you know what, one of the reasons why I want to create Fanbase is because I want to give the chance to those that, you know, might take 5 years to create their first album or the first independent movie or the first really good piece of content, right? So I want to make it as accessible as we can to everyone to become a creator and create content. And the reason why I associate this with AI is, imagine a place where AI could help you create really great content that in the past you need to have the best camera, the best editors, the best everything, right? So really allow you to get creative, stay unique, but use AI to create content in an easy way. So you're not spending 3 hours and $3,000. You're spending, 2 minutes and zero, and you're actually making $5,000. So AI in content creation, I think it's a big piece of where we're heading. Number two, I think AI is going to be huge in insights and insights interpretation as well. I'm dying to bring this to you guys because one of the great things that our growth strategist Andrew has done, he created a stack of insight gathering that we can really track. We track everything, right? By doing so, we're doing it so we can give these insights to you and we can show you what's working, what you're doing, and what's working, what you're not doing. Um, and we believe that AI can also help interpret this type of insights, because one thing is to, you know, give you, hey, you got 1,000 laps when you did these flicks, you got 5 subscriptions when you did Fanbase Plus. But a lot of times you're like, okay, does that mean that I should be doing more flicks? Does that mean? But imagine if we actually are able to help you interpret all of that, and we're giving you advice on how you can continue making more money based on what you do, the audience that you have, and so on. So AI can also help in there, and then many other layers within the application as well. But those two to me are very powerful and something that we are talking, we're brainstorming, we're starting to draft some initial ideas on that as well. Okay. In fact, today we had a refining about AI edition as well. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see, guys. Wow, it's 5:36 already. I always come here. I was like, man, I don't have a lot to talk about, but then I realized that we have a lot to talk about. What app tool do you use to add your phone to your watch party? So I didn't use any tool. Actually, this is the Fanbase. Here we go again. This is the Fanbase app on my MacBook Pro. So if you have a MacBook Pro M1, you can just go to the App Store, download Fanbase, and it works like an app. And it's a very nice window. But if you don't have that, you can also use the native screen sharing for if you have a Mac. And you also have a tool that I used to use. It's called Reflector. It worked great for me, and that works for both Windows and iOS. Reflector, where you can show your device on your computer as well. All right. Um, all right, all right, all right. Let's see what else. Sorry, guys, I'm going through there. Can families work with sharing tools like Buffer or Zapier? Um, I mean, what doesn't work with Zapier, right? I love Zapier. I'm a big fan. We actually have a lot of internal automations in our company with Zapier. We don't have any formal integration with them. One of the things that we always talk about is we do want to make it easy for not only creators but also companies and businesses to be able to share, um, natively through all these sharing platforms. But we're not there yet. Okay. All right. What else we have? I saw someone saying I want to invest. All right. I'm going to talk about it shortly. If you go to startengine.com/fanbase, that's where you will invest. But I'll talk a little bit about that. Okay. Um, okay. Let's see what else. Ta-ta. Yeah, I think that I talked about the bots and the crypto. We're going to take care of that very soon. Okay. Yeah, we definitely, there's a lot of increasing ISACs everywhere. And we know that. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Question: will there be a way to go to the other link while the video is playing without stopping it? Sometimes interrupts the flow of the party. Um, right now, the watch party is limited to a few views. Oh, look who's here. Come here, Isaac. Show the people that you're for real and you're here. Isaac just popped up. Um, but we will eventually start looking at making it more natively so you can do other things while you have watch party as well. You like the new setup? I told everyone that was it's been such a rough week that I just didn't want to move. So Andy set me up here.
Looks good.
Awesome.
You got good light.
Great light, huh?
It's lit. What's going on, everybody? Good.
Good, good. Answering questions here. All good? All right. Um, all right, let's see what else we have. I might jump some of the questions to give a space for other ones that haven't asked anything. Speaking of insights, what type of analytics is in the future? Not just AI, but the UI offerings. Maybe it's a similar question. It is a similar question. It's a different perspective to the question. AI is just a layer on insights. Insights is independent of that. So the overall goal is how can we give you the insights that allows you to engage, build community better, and eventually monetize. Okay. If you're new to Fanbase, if you go to, actually, you know what? Let me share my screen. So we can, you might as well share the screen, right? And we'll go through, there we go. All right. So here we are. So I'm going to get out of this room. All right. I'm going to leave the room and I'm going to go to my profile. This is my, oh, look at the handsome guy. I saw the post that you put there. So I'm in my profile. Okay. Here I am. And in that profile, I'm going to click on settings. Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to click on the wallet. All right. When I click on the wallet, again, this is my mockup account. Don't judge me for how much money I have. I can make better than that. But if you click on details, all right, it has what we call the revenue dashboard that allows you to see who gave you what, when, and where, right? This is a very basic approach to insights, right? But it's nice because you can actually say, you know what, I want to see throughout this year, this quarter, where I made most of the money or who's supporting me the most. But it's data. They said to me, there's a difference between data and insights, and UI has a lot to do with that. So what we want to do is we want to actually take the insights to a new level at the not only the UI level, but to be relevant information that truly gives you the information you need to get better. Because again, you get better at what you do, you build community. We know that the money will come to you, and it's a win-win for everyone, for Fanbase as well. So definitely monetization insights, audience insights, demographics and psychographics eventually will get there as well. Those are the kind of insights we're going to be looking into gathering to you. We gather them today, but we haven't yet presented all of that to you, the user, as well. All right. So hopefully that helped. I'm going to take a little pause from the questions, guys. I'll come back to that. I want to see if I missed anything on um, on YouTube because I did mention that I wanted to go to YouTube. Let's see. I am a tall boy. We are aware of some of the pain points on media uploading, and we're going to be addressing it. I promise you. In fact, we're going to get to that in a sprint or so. All right. We know with video it can be painful. I appreciate you bringing it up. All right. Um, let me see what else. When do you see Spark coming in the summer? It's a good question. We're working in parallel, refining, and there's a lot more than just developing Spark. Um, it depends on how quickly we can get through this first phase, which is the foundational phase. Um, we are growing the team. Be on the lookout in the next few days. We're going to be announcing, we're going to have some openings um, over here. Um, and as we grow the team and as we start bringing things such as automation, improving architecture, we're going to start moving faster. So, not sure if it's going to be the summer, but we're going to do our best for sure. All right. All right. With that said, I want to show you briefly because sometimes I hear like Rama, you talk about technology a lot, but you mention a lot about the race. But I want to mention that the race is going great. We're at 9.896 million. This is really what enables us to get better and to grow. So if you are an existing investor, which I know we have a lot of those in this room, I want to say thank you because you are the reason why we're here. I know we got to get better. I know we got to do better. We know that every day, and we will. That's our promise to you. And as we are in this stage where we feel we have a lot of great functionality, we're going back to the basics and starting to tackle a lot of the foundational. So then we can start going into the cool and fun stuff as well. But the raise really allows us to do that. We're raising $17 million. We're having great momentum, as you can see. So if you are wanting to invest, I've seen some of you asking, you can go to startengine.com/fanbase, and then you can just click on get equity. $3.99 is the minimum to invest. You get 60 shares, and you get to not only own part of this platform, but also contribute to the value by being a user, creating content, and doing all those things. All right. Um, I'll jump to something that I want to mention because I saw a question about that too. Um, the on web, there's ways. If you're ever wondering what kind of conversations are happening in Fanbase, there is this thing that we call the upcoming room. So if you go to fanbase.app/audio, you're gonna see all the ongoing audio rooms that are going on right now, including mine. You can see there. But then there's another tab called upcoming rooms. All right. And in that upcoming room, you're going to be able to see all the different audio conversations that are going on day by day. If you have a great conversation and you believe to be a consistent creator that you're duly committed to be there at that time, and we are going to get better on making sure that happens as well, please reach out to the marketing team and marketing at fanbase.app and let them know what the topic is, when would you do it, and they'll be able to consider you. Consistency is key, no matter if you do an audio room or anything. And I'm telling you from someone that does this every Thursday, no matter what. Last Thursday, I was traveling with the family for vacation, my poor family that they never get me the only time, and I was still here. I travel, I've done audio rooms in Qatar at 2 a.m., in Russia at 6 a.m. Consistency is key. So if you do commit to an upcoming room, I do ask you that to be successful, you got to stay consistent and you got to give that a priority. Okay. But it's out there. And this means that anyone in the world, they can actually access to your audio room as well. Okay. All right. Let me just stop sharing so we can go to some more questions, guys. Now I'll talk about the roadmap shortly. Sorry, let me go into the chat room here. Ooh, my phone is dying. All right, let's see. Uh, what else we have here? I've seen a few things about AI artists. I'm very curious. What do you consider an AI artist? That's very. I love it because I feel like there's starting to be all these new denominations and new opportunities out there with AI. And I've been hearing AI artists a lot. I'm just curious what you consider an AI artist. Um, Let me see what else we have. Sorry, I'm going through questions. I don't see any questions. How long does the user have to be consistent to be on the upcoming rooms? Um, it's a good question. We haven't formally put a threshold. What we do is usually when someone asks us about it, we do monitoring to understand, okay, has it happened at least for 2 3 weeks at the time that it said it was happening? Because think about this: if you commit to doing a recurring audio room, and I know life happens, guys, we're humans, we're not perfect, but if you commit to do an audio room, at noon every Tuesday, and your following is like, wow, I can't wait for noon Tuesday so I can see this audio room, and you started at 1 or you don't do it, then you just lose, trust in having that, and you lose opportunity. So again, I know it's not easy, but being consistent is key. As we develop in the future a true schedule audio rooms, which we do have that functionality in the pipeline, it will make that easier because it will allow you to have calendar invites and many, many other things that will make sure that no one misses it. But for now, you do have an opportunity and an outlet to showcase yourself. So just be consistent by just doing your best to be there at the right time. Few minutes late, few minutes early happens. All right. When are we going to have the Apples versus Android soon? I always want to do it, but then the week consumes me. But I promise you we will, because I think it's going to be the most fun room ever. And in fact, I already have it in my head. We're going to be bringing some of the developers from iOS and Android. We're going to have them as the board. We're going to do some judgments and we're going to have some fun questions, but we're going to do it. I promise you. All right. Oh, I see. I saw your. I actually seen your page, Marshall. That's pretty cool stuff. Got it. Thank you. All right. Can we get suggested flicks like the reel in IG that pops up in your feed? So we do have suggested flicks, and we're getting better at that too. We are looking into doing a lot of work with the feed and giving you even more power on you selecting what you want to see and what you don't want to see and what kind of content format. But we do have suggested flicks in the current feed as well. Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood your question. So I'm using YouTube. I'm starting YouTube on my computer. I have a 4K camera courtesy of Fanbase and Andy in front of me. I have it connected to my computer. I have a roadcaster as well. If you can hear this, see? I have a roadcaster that enables the sound. And then what I do is copy the link from YouTube and create a watch party on my room, and that's how I do it. So, all right. Any other questions? Let me see on here on YouTube. Let me see. Building that community is part of that. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, let's talk. There's 5:51. We still have 9-10 minutes left. Let's talk about the roadmap and the near future and the longer future. For those that have been around Fanbase for a while, you've seen us grow, from, the first days of direct voice, which is now audio. We came a long way, and a lot of times you gotta work and you gotta adjust to what allows your business to continue growing and to allow the user to continue enjoying the platform, right? So, it's been 4 years out of 3 we've been doing fundraising. Fundraising enabled us to get here. In fact, when we started the first fundraising, we didn't have Android. We have only iOS. And the first fundraising, the first CF round, enables us to bring Android. And Android had to catch up with iOS because think about it. I mean, you had all this functionality, and then Android started. I still remember the old days where we used to do releases and we would have to say, well, this is for iOS, but it's not for Android. And now we don't even say that. That's a given that it's for both, right? But in the while doing all of that and while bringing features and when trying to really help the creator, we built this beautiful monster. And as we got better at every angle, we got better at developing, we got better at understanding insights and interpreting them, we got better at listening to you. We made mistakes as well, just like any company, but we're still here, and we're strong, and we have a future, right? And as such, we decided as a company, we said, you know what, before we continue bringing all these great features we have in our roadmap, we need to cover some of the basics, because if not, it's very hard to continue scaling. And things that should take 2 sprints are going to take 2 months, right? And I'm a big believer that to speed things up, sometimes you need to slow down. So, with that said, we are contemplating in the next several sprints to really do a true all hands on type bug fix marathon to start addressing a lot of different things that we need to address across the platform. Starting from obviously the most important, we use a prioritization system. We can't be working on at the same level, on a color of a button versus an issue with resetting the password, right? Stuff like that. So there's going to be definitely prioritization. So if you ever thought that you were not being heard, which I think we do a good job about letting you know that we hear everything that you mentioned, this is the time to report and share with us, because we're really going to be taking a look at everything. And we're going to start ironing out a lot of the things, some things that you probably shared in the past. Again, any platform out there, no matter if it's Meta that's been around for 20 years or anyone, they all have bugs and issues. And it's statistically proven that for every solution you potentially induce 8 bugs. Maybe that has lowered that threshold. But we're going to be working a lot of that on improving the quality of experience within the platform. We actually, on next sprint, we have a new moderation system that's going to be huge for us, because that's going to change the game of how we're going to be able to continue improving the algorithm, how we're going to be able to start featuring content and allowing you to have more visibility, having a safer community, working on the blog functionality. So all I can say about the near term roadmap is that it's going to be a lot of what we call break fix and improvements. We're going to be also working on improving the architecture for some core elements, so then we can start bringing new features. And we're hoping to get to that as soon as possible. Like, I mentioned we're growing the team. We're starting to do strategic partnerships as well. We're using technologies to expedite that. And once we do that, then we're going to be in a much, much better place to start doing all these other things that we know we want to do. We want to simplify the content creation. We want to bring dark mode, carousel, multi-live, being able to share internally beyond stories, bring you better editing tools, insights. So if we don't do the core ground, it's going to be hard for us, and it's going to, we're going to be dragging our feet. So that's a little bit of the roadmap. I will still be here letting you know the cool things and the not so cool things that we bring, the details. But what I can promise you is you're going to start seeing a lot of different changes and better experience within Fanbase as well. Okay. So that's a little bit of the roadmap. And I can't wait till our Thursday Tech Talks are all about this new unique feature that we're bringing, like, schedule audio rooms and so on. So, but we're going to get there. You guys got to be a little bit more patient with us, but we will. All right. With that said, I'm going to do a brief recap and then going to see if you have any other questions or comments. I mentioned that we just finished sprint 112 and we started with sprint 113. We have a new release, version 3.14. This new version is bringing DM UI improvements. We finalized all the work we need to do to be able to pay you on Saturday. It's the first time we're going to be paying anyone that makes $5 or more on Fanbase. That turns us into the number one platform with least friction to make money. Okay. We also talk about some performance and architectural improvements that are happening. That's going to happen next week. That's the infrastructure part, but it's still part of this release as well. We also brought Instagram migration on web. So you'll be able to migrate from Instagram just like you do on TikTok on web as well. And of course, we have a few bug fixing here and there, including crashes in the release. All right. We had some great questions. We talked about AI. We talked about insights. We talked about some of the issues that you're having. We talked about payouts and how you can get paid. If you don't have the payment method in your country, in your region available, please still reach out to us. We're going to make it happen sooner or later. And we'll start bringing different payout methods as well in the future. All right. And so the Fanbase trades continue. The race is doing well. I still encourage everyone to continue doing your part, either as a user creating content and letting people know about Fanbase, or as an investor. If you want to invest again, or you're willing to invest in Fanbase, while we're humans, I can tell you that our promise and our reasoning for existing are valid, and they are the future. And stay after we're done with the room, because I want you guys to see the Fanbase promise if you haven't seen it yet, because that talks about what we stand for. And we do that in every line of code, in every conversation we have, and we're going to get better, and we are definitely going to become the future. All right. Let's see. Let's answer a few other questions. I like this one. What's one takeaway you took away from O'Leary as a CTO? Okay. So just to give you a recap, on Monday, Isaac had a live event with Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, for those that know him, and they both talk about the social economy, which is what we're aiming at becoming the best platform for all creators in the social economy. The social economy is what blends the social media platform with the creator economy. That's what makes Fanbase unique. And something that I rescue from that is, we talked a lot about revenue models and the difference between traditional social media and platforms in the social economy, such as Fanbase. And advertising is a word that, just like sometimes people say algorithm, people are like, oh, advertising, ugh. But to me, advertising, it's a big umbrella. What we are against is traditional advertising that attempts against the creator and disrupts user experience. And that's what most social media platform uses. But we're all about advertising. So as a CTO, what I took about that is that as we continue growing and as we continue, piloting all these, what we call branded experiences, which are ways of advertising, I need to help support future advertising models within Fanbase from an infrastructure level, application level, experience level as well. So a lot of my conversations as we talk with partners, brands, businesses, investors as well, to start thinking how, from a technical perspective, I can support creative, non-traditional ways of advertising inside Fanbase. We have a lot of great ideas. We're putting a business plan together for that. The future of Fanbase is not only going to be labs and subscriptions. It's also going to be other monetization avenues for the creators, for you guys. And that involves advertising as well. It involves e-commerce, right? So as I have all these revenue streams, my objective and my mission is how I can help make this as scalable as possible so they can all be interactive with each other and can be a seamless experience. It's not an easy task, but it's doable, and that's what I took from that conversation, because they talked a lot about advertising and the potential of advertising in the social economy and social media platforms. All right. All right. Let's see. What else? As Fanbase continues to grow, the payout can be 2 weeks instead of 1 month because of the reduction in payout amounts. Yeah, definitely. So it's not only the payout methods that makes it how often we can pay. Having a monetized environment is a big responsibility for many reasons at many layers, right? I always say there's bad actors. We got to make sure that it's not 99% perfect. It's like 100% perfect, right? When we talk about money, not a single cent should be missing from here or there, right? We're building a true you know, blockchain. I don't want to get you guys excited or anything with that, but a true ecosystem. So we got to make sure that we get it absolutely right before we start being more flexible and automating a lot of the things. In fact, on March 1st, it's going to be the first time that we're implementing um, a model that allows us to pay in a better way, in a more automated way, and have more visibility of all the different things that goes around how users are making money in Fanbase. So we definitely want to become more flexible when we pay. We want to give more options of how we pay and what you do with the money. But before we get there, we need to continue improving on the underlying layer of monetization. And we're in a really good place. I'm very proud of how we can track absolutely everything from the live is coming from where, because that allows us to build from there. But we still have some more work to do that. But in the future, I don't discard allowing you to be able to cash out before every month. Okay. All right. Yeah, Duran, I know. He was definitely throwing hints. But the reality is that we were already working and talking and having conversations about non-traditional advertising before we had that conversation. So that is basically supporting, made that feel really good about our direction. All right. I think that's it. 6:05. Let me see. I don't want to forget anyone on YouTube. Let me see. Okay, I don't think I see anything on YouTube anymore. I see some questions that I answered earlier. Sorry that we're running out of time. I saw a question about dark mode. Dark mode is coming, but we still gotta cover some of the basics before we get to dark mode. But I want to say thank you guys again. We're proud of what we have built together, but we are also humble enough to know that we still have a long way to go. But because we got here and we're still here while other platforms have disappeared from the face of the earth, we're committed to continue improving and building the best experience for everyone. And as we continue making progress in the race, and as you continue trusting us, either as a user or as an investor, our promise to you is that we're always gonna have the user, the creator, and our investors in mind with every decision that we make. So we're gonna be looking at the computer, making sure that we improve the experience, and then we're gonna bring all these amazing features so you can get closer to that minimum threshold. And I'm gonna be here again next Thursday at 5 p.m. Don't forget that $5 is now the minimum you need to get paid. Saturday, we're gonna be starting to pay everyone. If you're one of those creators that gets paid, I'm gonna ask you to please be proud about it. Tell the world, even if it's $5, just tell the world that Fanbase allow you to buy a cup of coffee, allow you to, have lunch, whatever that is. It makes a difference because that's how you start. You start from the bottom up, not, expecting everyone to say, oh, well, until I make $2,000, this is not working for me. That's just not how it is. That's how we change the world. So if you are going to get paid on Saturday, please proudly share on socials, let the world know, and you'll hear from us as well. All right. With that said, next Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be here. If you have any questions, you can check your phone and share them, or you can wait until next Thursday. But I do encourage you now more than ever, if you have any issues, frustration, feedback, check your phone, email us at support@fanbase.app, because we're going to be focusing a lot on that. All right. And the more information we have, the better. Okay. With that said, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Don't leave quiet yet. If you're new to Fanbase and you've never seen the Fanbase Promise, I want to put it in there for you. I'm going to put it as a watch party, because I want you to know what we stand for, because that determines everything that we do. And sometimes, in the routine, you get lost a little bit on the details and everything. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to that. Everyone's a creator. We're creator first. We are here for the user, and that's what makes us unique. Okay, so look at the Fanbase Promise, hear it, and then have that in mind on everything that you say about Fanbase and that you do. We promise that from our side as well. All right. With that said, give me a minute or so. I'll set it up. For those that are in YouTube, I want to say thank you so much for joining. This is going to be recorded. I'm going to put it in my Fanbase Plus so you can check it out as well. So thank you again, guys. See you and hear you next Thursday. All right. I'm going to end.
Not the absence of fear. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny. Where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
All right. Another episode, Rama Tech Thursday. See you next week, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern.